This week, Miles Morales' Spider-Man, what to expect for Free Comic Book Day, and a special message from Chip Zdarsky. Check it out. It's Previews World Weekly right now. It's December 19th, it's New Comic Book Day, it is Wednesday, and you can't find a copy of Border Town anywhere. Welcome, it's Previews World Weekly. I am one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
And I'm Thea, and we're here every week to remind you to stop at a comic shop and get involved in what's happening in the world of comics.
So, Christmas is right around the corner.
That it is.
Are you ready?
No.
No, me either.
Not at all.
I think I'm ahead, and then I always end up behind regardless.
Right?
And, you know, one of the perks of this show is, like, well, doing this show is, like, we can order stuff. And, like, you know, I try to think ahead during the summertime, but
there's only so much you can do.
There's almost so much to do, so I'm going to be still doing the scramble. But if you are still trying to get a, you know, a Christmas gift, how about an Aquaman Omnibus? We're going to go ahead and do a giveaway later in the show because Aquaman is out this week.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of people are expecting that. But all you have to do is survive this Mia video. She's going to show us what's at comic shops right now.
Hey Previews World, Mia here with a look at what's at comic shops this week. So let's jump on in. Is that it? No way. Your local comic shop has something for every type of customer. So stop at a comic shop today, and I'll see you back here next week.
Once again, a great list of cool titles out this week. What are you looking forward to?
So one of the titles that I've been meaning to pick up for a while is actually the Klaus series, and there's a new one coming out this week called Klaus and the Crying Snowman. It's Grant Morrison, and the series has been kind of about telling the origin of Santa Claus, right? But like really like diving into like his, I guess, Nordic origins. I'm probably getting the wrong region there, but you know, but at the same time, like kind of portraying him more as a Viking warrior. Yeah. And he encounters all these like supernatural elements. Yeah, it's something I've been meaning to pick up for a while, cool. And yeah, it just seems cool, and it's the right season for it. They do these books annually, and they always do it around this time of year. So
as they should.
I'm out of excuses. You know,
go and get it.
Go get it. What are you looking for?
I'm looking at Hardcore #1.
Okay, yeah.
It looks like a really cool book. It's by Andy Diggle, and the artist is Alessandra Vitti.
Yeah.
And the concept's really cool. It's like they've got the hardcore program, and they've got this Agent Drake. And the program is they can basically turn any person into a human drone, so that you can like sneak into places and get stuff done for the government, right? Yeah. So he's this guy Drake is their best soldier, and he gets stuck in a body. And has only 72 hours to discover who's hacked the program, basically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it seems like a really cool concept. It's got the sci-fi thing going on.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
No, yeah, I saw a synopsis for it. I didn't even know about the detail of him being stuck in one.
Yeah.
So that's actually really cool. Yeah. And it's from the mind of Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri and Andy Diggle, who wrote the Losers and the James Bond comics. So yeah, definitely check that out. I'm also going to swing a little bit more. I want to say old school. This week, I'm going to pick up the Justice League World's the Greatest Superheroes trade paperback. So a few years ago, they released like these short stories that were like all focused on like it was like Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. I think Shazam was also part of it, and it released its oversized books. And I remember seeing them over and over again and being like, I need to buy one of these, and I never did because they're fully painted by Alex Ross.
Oh, cool!
And it's written by Paul Dini, who was like he was behind Batman the Animated Series. So you're getting like like picture perfect versions of these characters, yeah, they're just like really nice, like little one-shot tales about some of, literally DC's Trinity, and then there's another Justice League story that follows on top of that. Cool. So yeah, definitely check that out. What else are you looking forward to?
The Witcher.
Oh,
so it's Of Flesh and Flame, #1, right? A very Witcher name. It's writer Alexandra Motika?
I'm going to go with it.
Motika.
Multicast.
Rude.
Multipass? Sorry.
And artist, they've all got really easy to pronounce names. Mariana Strichkowska. I think I pronounced that right.
There you go.
And yeah, I mean, it's sort of a classic old, story. The main character, Geralt, is summoned by an old friend to help solve a mystery involving his daughter, and then he has another old friend that shows up and finds himself entangled in some stuff that he didn't want to get into,
right,
you know?
Right. It's a classic story trope there. Yeah, why not?
But still, good.
Okay,
solid,
cool.
right?
Yeah, Witcher, I mean, if you're a fan of the video games,
exactly.
why not, right? Also out this week, Infinity Wars, the final issue is out. Of course, this is the story. I say, of course. You should know this by now because I'm about to spoil the heck out of it. Gamora killed Thanos at the beginning of the storyline, and so now we're dealing with the ramifications of that. And this is called coming to a head now. Some really nice Mike Diodato artwork too.
Yeah.
And top of that, we also have Betty and Veronica, #1.
Yes.
Part of that Archie Forever lineup. Yeah, the great thing about Betty and Veronica is consistency. And
sure.
they're friends, and they're going to turn on each other, and then maybe they'll be friends again. But yeah, it's if you followed the Adam Hughes book that came out like the last couple of years, this is a new series, and you should check it out. That's from Archie this week. Also out this week, Live Wire, #1 from Valiant Comics. She was like the big focus of their Harbinger War storyline that came out like a couple of months back, and now she's finally getting her solo book.
Cool.
And it's Vita Ayala, who's also been making waves in the comic book industry. She's actually on a lot of titles right now. Definitely check that out. And also, I got to point this out, Old Man Hawkeye is the final issues in comic shops this week. So if you didn't pick it up, you screwed it up. It's done. And it's your fault. No, it's not. It was meant to be a 12-issue miniseries, and now it's over. But definitely pick that up, check that out. And I made a promise. I said that we were going to do an Aquaman giveaway just in time for the movie. Do we have one?
We do!
Magic is real, folks.
Big, fancy. This thing's heavy.
That's heavy, yeah.
Aquaman Omnibus.
Right.
Right? So if you guys want to win this, comment below wherever you're watching, Facebook or YouTube, and let us know if you're going to go see this movie.
Yeah. Very simple, right?
Very simple.
Well, I mean, if you say no, we're not going to give it to you.
It's true. So, get with it.
So there's really only one answer.
We'll take entries until this Friday at noon, and we'll pick one of you guys and you can win this.
Yeah, there you go. And as you can see, this is the Aquaman by Geoff Johns Omnibus. So, like Geoff Johns, just like Paul Dini and Alex Ross, I was mentioned earlier, he's going to give you the quintessential character. Like, this is probably the book you should be reading if you after you see the movie or before you go see the movie. So definitely check that out.
The Aquaman.
And from there, we're going to go ahead and take a look at news. We got a bunch of stuff that happened in the last 7 days. We're going to talk about it. So check this out.
Comics, collectibles, and crossovers. Oh my! Let's take a look at the news we've got for you this week. First up, the Free Comic Book Day Committee has selected the 12 gold sponsor comic book titles for the comic book industry's most anticipated annual event, Free Comic Book Day. Free Comic Book Day happens each year on the first Saturday in May at participating comic book shops worldwide, with next year's event taking place on May 4th, 2019. The titles were curated by over 20 comic shop retailers, and they come from the industry's top publishers, featuring something for everyone, from superheroes to popular films and television shows, to beloved franchises, and all ages favorites. The full lineup of this year's comic books will be announced later this week, and 39 additional silver-sponsored titles will be announced on Thursday, December 20th. A complete listing of all 51 titles can also be found in the January issue of the Previews catalog, on sale at all comic book shops December 28th. Next up, the fan favorite and critically acclaimed PS4 video game, Marvel's Spider-Man, has taken the world by storm, and now the game's web-slinger is leaping into the pages of Marvel Comics. Starting this March, all your favorite Spidey characters are presented in new and surprising scenarios as Peter Parker's civilian and superhuman worlds collide in the game's original action-packed story. While creating the game, the writing team's goal was to pay homage to Spider-Man's rich history while also shaking things up to keep players on the edge of their seats, said Marvel Games Executive Creative Director Bill Roseman. Now we're thrilled to see our game's original story swing full circle and come to life in the pages of this all-new comic book series in the mighty Marvel manner. Including all new story moments never before seen in the game, as well as bonus behind-the-scenes content, Marvel's Spider-Man City at War #1 is the first in a series of new stories from the growing Marvel Gamerverse as we press start on a brand new Marvel universe this March. As part of their year-long global celebration of Batman's 80th anniversary, DC is publishing a momentous 1,000th issue of Detective Comics, the series that introduced the world's most popular superhero and the title from which the DC brand was born. This must-have collector's item debuts in March and includes all new stories plus a wraparound cover from the powerhouse art team of fan-favorite artist Jim Lee, inker Scott Williams, and colorist Alex Sinclair. To further celebrate the Caped Crusaders' 80-year legacy, Detective Comics #1000 will offer an extensive retailer variant cover program. Hardcore collectors will want to get their hands on this series of variant covers showcasing the Dark Knight through various decades from iconic Batman artists such as Steve Rude, Michael Cho, Jim Steranko, Bernie Wrightson, Frank Miller, Tim Sale, Jock and Greg Capullo, plus an homage to Jerry Robinson's cover of November 1942's Detective Comics #69 by Bruce Timm. This 96-page oversized collector's edition issue will be available at comic shops on March 27, 2019. Next up, Diamond Select Toys has revealed the first product from their recently acquired Castlevania license. A fancy new Trevor Belmont PVC figure is coming to comic shops in summer of 2019. The figure stands roughly 9 inches tall and depicts Trevor wielding his whip and a stake in a cool action pose. It was designed by Caesar, sculpted by Rocco Tardamella, and will ship in a full-color window box. DST officially acquired the Castlevania license in October of 2018 and plans to offer products in a number of different categories. Look for the Trevor Belmont PVC figure to be solicited in a future edition of previews. Valiant has introduced Breakthrough, a boundary-shattering lineup of first issues in 2019. These will serve as perfect jumping-on points for new fans, while expanding the shared universe, offering every reader 4 new gateways to the rich storytelling of Valiant. These new tales are titled The Life and Death of Toyo Harada, Punk Mambo, Fallen World, and Killers. 4 new series, 4 boundary-breaking tales to experience. New fans will love the wide range of stories and genres, while Valiant superfans will make new discoveries about their favorite characters. Breakthrough will propel Valiant into its breathtaking second half of 2019, featuring surprises, returns, and reveals that longtime fans have been demanding. The CW is adapting 1985's Crisis on Infinite Earths for a fall 2019 crossover event with their DC heroes in the Arrowverse that was announced at the end of Elseworlds Part 3. In Crisis on Infinite Earths, a mysterious being known as the Anti-Monitor begins a crusade across time to bring about the end of all existence. As alternate Earths are systematically destroyed, the Monitor quickly assembles a team of superheroes from across time and space to battle his counterpart and stop the destruction. Get ready for the crossover event next year by picking up the Crisis on Infinite Earths trade at your local comic shop.
Cool. I'm really curious about how they're going to pull that off. This is a massive story.
It's a lot.
And props for them. They got to that story before the movies did. So also props to them for that.
That's true too, yeah.
Yeah, like we were talking earlier about the Spider-Man PS4 press release.
Yeah.
And like how the headline was Marvel's Spider-Man comes to comics. Yeah. And it was just like, yeah.
Doesn't he have those
Right,
already?
Doesn't he have those already? I think he's had that for quite a while, guys. Yeah, so both of us watched Castlevania.
Yes.
And I just want to say bravo to DST for getting that license and making toys of that. Well, making statues of that, and possibly more, I'd imagine.
A lot more.
Yeah, like I'm a big Warren Ellis fan, so I just kind of watched it by default. But also, I think the guy who produced that did a couple of Judge Dredd shorts like a while back that I also thought were really cool as well. But I'm really enjoying that show, man.
Me too.
And
it's solid.
We've talked a little bit about that before, but yeah, it's just cool.
Yeah, and the figure looks really great.
And actually, that actually was like a good representation of him. Like, yeah, I'm very curious about this. It's making me more of a Castlevania fan because I think I didn't really pay attention to that game until there was a show called Captain N, the Game Master. And that was the show that I used to watch as a kid.
Good.
So that's how I discovered Castlevania.
Good.
But like, it's good to have this like properly contextualized for me because like I never really played the games. It's just never really my thing. But yeah, it's just a cool series. I love that series.
It's a very cool series. It's a beautiful series too. Like it's visually really good.
Just really strong, right? And like, I think it's Ellis has had stuff adapted like before. They did Red, which was like that weird Bruce Willis series.
Yeah.
But it's cool to actually hear his dialogue come from actors because Red was just nothing like the comic at all. So, Now we're going to switch over to toys, and Natasha's going to show us some of the stuff available at comic shops via the Previews World toy chest. So no giveaway this week, guys. We apologize for toys, but you can at least see what's available. Check it out.
Hey Previews World, here's this week's rundown of some of the toys, statues, and collectibles hitting store shelves for the first time. Let's take a look inside the Previews toy chest. And your local comic shop has even more to offer. Support your LCS by visiting them today. As for me, I'll see you back here next week.
It's a pretty cool spread of stuff.
Yeah.
And like subject matter that I'm actually, like some of my fandoms personally, like good Star Wars stuff and the Infinity Wars goodies, right?
Right. No, I like the Groot with the little Thor
Such
hammer.
Determination.
Right, yeah.
I've got this.
Right. It's like the cool, I had to stop myself from getting the gold 10th anniversary Marvel Studios pops. Like I was just like, where am I going to put these?
Right.
Like
they're very shiny.
You should buy them.
They're really shiny, guys.
Yeah.
They're super shiny.
They're super shiny. They're really cool, but I was just like, this is a sickness, and I need to stop right now.
I broke down and bought Bucky.
Yeah. Right.
Reasons.
Right. No, I get that. You know, hey.
Necessary reasons.
Necessary reasons. Right.
And the enamel pins look really cool. I like the enamel pin trend a lot.
Yeah.
They're just like really classy.
Yeah, no, I like them. Like, everyone's doing them now. Like, I know they had the Saga one with the lion cat and all this other stuff. Yeah, those are really cool. I actually think those are neat. Yeah. So now we're gonna get to Spider-Verse in a little bit. But first, here's a trailer from Marvel featuring the new Miles Morales Spider-Man #1, which didn't come out this week. It came out last week, but it's available at comic shops now. Check this out.
It has never been a better time to be a Miles Morales fan. Not only does he have that amazing new movie, one of the best movies ever, but he's got a brand new comic book, one of the best comic book series ever. Miles Morales Spider-Man, written by Saladin Ahmed, drawn by Javier Garrón. This is Spider-Man being Spider-Man. It's Miles doing these archetypal adventures on the streets of Brooklyn, fighting bad guys. He starts investigating a mystery that gets way bigger than he even thought it would.
Saladin Ahmed is just a one-of-a-kind talent. He's really come into Marvel and made a name for himself, but this is the first time we're really giving him the big book with Marvel's premier character, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. What he's going to do in resetting the status quo is going to blow people's minds. Miles Morales artist Javier Garrón is one of our young guns. He's been an up-and-comer for a number of years. We've really thrust him into the spotlight as one of our premier young artists, and he continues to develop on every project that he's had. He just finished up Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now he's completely bringing a new level of talent, changing up his style a bit in his pencils and his inks, and really kicking butt on Miles Morales.
Javier is amazing. He's a very dynamic, explosive superhero artist. Anytime I do a #1 of a series, I would like somebody who's not only new to that character, but maybe even new to comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man #1, it's out in December, and it's very much intended for folks who might not know the character, might not even have read a Spider-Man comic, and for them to be able to kind of access what's universal and what's immediately appealing about this character and about the Marvel Universe and all the fun stuff that's going on there.
And that was Miles Morales, Spider-Man #1 from Marvel Comics by Saladin Ahmed. I actually got a chance to read that last week. It was actually pretty cool. It's a nice breezy read.
Cool.
And on top of that, I got to see Spider-Verse later in that week. So it was just sort of like, you can kind of see a little bit of synergy there.
Cool.
Like, you know, so it really is a great book to pick up if you saw the movie and if you love the movie. Definitely check that comic out. And speaking of Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, we asked you guys what you thought, and you told us. So now we got a social swamp for it. Look at that.
So yeah, we wanted to know what you guys thought about Into the Spider-Verse, and we have some good reactions from folks. Jaxie Draws said that they highly recommend it, and it did not disappoint. It was amazing. Mary T. Haynes said that she highly recommends Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It was a good story with great characters and leaves you loving it but wanting more after it's over. Antonio de Jesus Gautier said that he went with his nephews yesterday. They liked the movie. He loved it. Had watery eyes most of the time. It's a beautiful story and awesome animation. Then the after credits scene is great. Next weekend, I'll take my daughter to see the Spanish dub.
There you go.
Finally, Cruz Hernandez said that it's by far my favorite Spider-Man film, and it has officially challenged my top 5 favorite superhero movies list to a UFC-style throwdown. The next few days in my head are going to rock.
I did intentionally do this, but I know there's a lot of Latin American names in this one.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's so great that we have the representation now.
Yeah,
like we've got this aspect of the Spider-Verse, and they're such great characters.
They are.
They really deserve the spotlight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's interesting because I was about to give a spoiler away. I won't even say that. Never mind. I'll keep it to myself. The movie is good. I actually saw it on Sunday, I think it was, and like, yeah, it's actually probably, they made like 6 or 7 Spider-Man movies at this point.
Oh,
and this one,
a handful.
This is probably one of the best ones. Like
I'm not surprised.
It's probably, personally, between me, it's like this one and Homecoming are probably battling out, and somewhere in there Spider-Man 2, but like those are like the top 3 at least.
Nice.
It's a nice love letter to Spider-Man. Like, you know, not just Miles Morales, but they really do use him like as a kind of a gateway for a lot of things. So it's interesting,
Yay.
So definitely check it out because I know you haven't seen it yet. I'm not going to spoil it.
I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it.
You're right.
Don't worry.
See it tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, like it's definitely cool. So, and yeah, I didn't want to believe the hype, but it actually met it. So which is actually pretty nice.
That's good.
And that's almost it for us this week, but we have one more thing that we're going to show you at the end credits. So last week, actually a few weeks ago, Chip Zdarsky, who's the writer of Spectacular Spider-Man, did a call to action to all comic shops. And he was like, hey, I'll tell your customers to pre-order in a video that I make specifically for each shop. And so he did that. I think last time I saw he did something like 55. But we were like, hey, we want to get in on this. Technically, that's our jobs to tell people to pre-order.
Right, yeah.
Right. So, but he went ahead and like did one for us, so we're going to show you that at the end of the show. But before we exit out, we got to do the business, right?
Yep.
So, what else do people need to remember? What comic shop shout out?
Yes, absolutely. We want to know what your favorite local comic shop is. Let us know wherever you can find us on social media. Use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS, and we could shout you guys out on our next show.
Cool. And that's it this week for Previews World Weekly. We're going to kick it over to Chip Zdarsky now. But I've been Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm Thea. We want to wish you guys a happy holidays, and we'll see you at the Spinner Rack.
Oh, if it isn't Previews itself, Diamond Distribution. Wow. So I'm Chip Zdarsky, and I'm the new writer of Daredevil for Marvel Comics. Issue 1 drops in February, and then issue 2 also drops in February. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. You're the distributor. You're technically the most important part of this puzzle because you're the ones that put the comics in the stores. So I feel a lot of pressure right now to impress you. So let me give you some of the lowdown on Daredevil, what's coming up, just so you know. Daredevil is Matt Murdock, and you know, he's been through some stuff, and he's hurt real bad. Charles Soule tried to make it seem like he died, but no, because we need to put out a comic. So he's not dead, but he's rough. I'm going to tell you right now, he's pretty rough. And he goes out, and he fights crime, and he gets. It's a gritty book. It's dark, and it's a little twisted, and it's dark, and he's sad, and he's angry, and he takes out that anger on the streets, not on the physical streets, on the people in the streets, but not all the people in the streets, because most of them are good, but some of them are bad, and those bad guys want to do bad things. They want to take your purse, and you're like, no, it's my purse, and he's like, oh, take your purse, and then he's like, and he looks up, and no, and Daredevil's like, oh, I'm the knight. That's more of a Batman thing, but he's like, oh, I'm the devil, and he comes down, and he punches them, and he kicks them, and he gets all dirty, and they punch him, and he goes, oh, I'm bleeding, but the pain means nothing to me compared to the pain inside my head as I think about my violent behavior in relation to God. Oh, God, why? I've done a lot of these videos, and I'm really tired. And this is technically the last one I had to do. I put it off because it was Diamond, and they're the major distributor for comics. So I probably should have done this video first while I was fresh and I was firing all cylinders, but I didn't. And I regret it.
Thanks for watching Previews World Weekly. If you like the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes.